Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Y'all, my goodness. There is paint in my hair. There's a dog barking. Um, Paint everywhere. But we are here. I wanted to come and do a live journal with me. I've been on this kick for documenting everything. And I just wanted to share that with you all. And so I thought I could do live journaling sessions. And hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I am Cicely Renee, and I have a blog, I have a podcast. I promote Christian content. I love Bible study, I love creativity, and I love journaling. And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to share my joy with you all. Good day, welcome. And so if you are here, definitely grab a journal, grab a pen because we're going to be journaling. We're going to be going through some activities. And so I'll give you a few minutes before we really get started. And so I'm actually on two different platforms right now. And so hopefully nothing messes up. And so I can see people from different angles. And yeah. And so hopefully I'll be able to be good. But anyways, so I'm excited to be here. Today we're talking about embracing the season you're in. And so let's just get this party started. And so I've been reflecting because I've been journaling, the different seasons that I have been mentally, intentionally, really understanding I'm in. Like for my whole entire life, I didn't realize that there were different seasons, right? And so over the past couple of years, I could see myself in seasons, and I'm like, oh my gosh, God is doing some wild things here. So I had a season of just sitting, not doing hardly anything, and that lasted about a year and a half, where I sat at my house at this desk and just sat all day, every day. It was part of my job, but that was like a new job. And before, I was like a full time entrepreneur. And so he told me to close the store, and I did. And I was just like, what do we do next? And so in that season, I had to figure out and navigate in that and prepare for what was to come. And so I'm like, now I'm in a busy season, and it kind of is a little stressful. And so I am, taking precautions. I don't know what's happening next or, what to really do, but just live day by day, right? And so I don't know if you know what season you're in. Like if you can comment right now, let me know what season you are in. Like what is going on in your world and how do you know that's the season you're in? Put it in the chat and I will respond to that. But every season has its purpose. A lot of seasons when I was sitting for the year and a half, it was definitely preparation for what was to come. And so I ended up having a new job and, new businesses and just kind of like in preparation for all the things that going through, right? So right now I have a nonprofit organization, I have an art business. There's a lot. I work a full-time job and a part-time job and just all kinds of things all over the place. And it is definitely a busy season. And so the season before, it was a chill season. It was just relax, spend my time with God, unrushed, unhurried, creating, just being in that atmosphere and, definitely preparing because I was really learning and growing and transforming. And then all of a sudden now I'm in this new season and it's like, oh, that's why I went through all of that. And so tonight we're going to just kind of explore where you are in your season, and what we need. And I have my notes over here and how to embrace it, right? And so, I don't know much about planting or gardening, or I just know that there are seasons. And here in Texas, there's really only two seasons, hot and cold briefly, just briefly. I'm from Minnesota though, and so we definitely had 4 seasons. Yeah. Our longest season was winter though. And so I got to experience spring, fall, winter and summer. Here in Texas is like mostly summer though. It's hot now. It's hot. I got the balcony open. Like we're good. It's February. That's wild. And so seasons and location, like where are you? So I know that when you are planting seeds, specific seeds, you can't just plant them anytime. There has to be like the season, the type of temperature, the atmosphere, where it is at, the sun, all that stuff, accounts for what you are planting. And so if you don't know what season you're in, you're going to be planting the wrong things, right? And so usually we don't know what season we're in until we're in it. Unfortunately, we're not like, fall, spring, summer, and winter. It is our seasons are totally different. However, God has it for us. But but once you're in there, what are you gonna do? Right? Excuse me, I have a little cold. But yes, so we have the different seasons. So let me know what season you are in. And then like how did you find out that you're in that season? Right? One thing that we should focus on is also just kind of like acknowledging, that your season matters. Like this season, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever season you're in, it is pivotal for what's to come. And so a lot of us, me, like to rush through the seasons. We like to try to fast forward. We like to skip the good parts. We like to kind of skip a lot of stuff, right? Because we want to get to a different season. Excuse me. And so, like, when I was in my sitting season, like, it was very challenging for the first maybe like 4 or 5 months because I'm the type that's always on the go. And when God was like, no, you just need to sit and be still, it took a lot out of me. And so I'm sure, once I kind of probably delayed my, exit time because I was just like, I still want to do all the things. And, the Holy Spirit was like, no, just stop. Just be still. Be here with me. And so I was like, okay, what are we going to do in this season? Like, what's happening? What am I supposed to learn? um where are we going, like what's to come? And so when I was in my still season, I God just told me to do the things that I love to do, which was creating and writing. And so that's what I did. And then eventually I came up with, well, the Holy Spirit led me to open up a nonprofit organization, a creative arts ministry. And he literally like directed my path for that. And so I found different resources, people, made a lot of really good connections. And, I was invited to go teach in, Knoxville, Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains, art workshops. Like, that's amazing. And so it's just kind of funny, like how God, routes things, right? And so just being content in that season and being open to what God has for you and not kind of rushing through it is going to be very helpful for you in the long run. And I'm joking, you guys. Excuse me. All right. And so one of the things that I started doing was journaling. And so I love writing. I love documenting and I want everybody else to document and journal and all of that good stuff. And so that's what you guys will see mostly from my channel and now my Substack, my newsletter, is me basically saying journal every day. And it doesn't have to be like this long-winded journaling. It could be like a gratitude page, like one thing you're grateful for, right? And so I literally wrote a post today, and in that post, I have like two, easy journaling techniques. So make sure you go to, that newsletter to check that out. But yeah, so I have a couple tips for you. So one is identify your current season. So like spend some time what's happening? Who needs you right now? Who doesn't need you right now? Where are you? Are you in transition? Are you moving? Are you a new parent? Are you at a new job? Like what trend or what season are you in? And then just kind of think about what God may be teaching you in this season. You guys, oh my gosh. Of course, I want to do a live video. Wow, sick. No, but it's all good. All right. Two, shift your perspective. So instead of resisting the change, ask, what can I learn? What am I supposed to get out of this? I love lessons. I love learning and I love applying, that new learning to my new situations because I'm like, I don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over. I do not want to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, right? And then, yeah, so my third tip is to pray and reflect. And so I'm hoping, your prayer life is great and you're like, okay, God, what's going on? Let's do this. But let's see. Okay. All right. So do you have your journal? Do you have your pen? I have three journaling prompts for you. Okay. Three of them. The first one is, what season of life do you feel like you're in right now? And describe it in detail. You can use your sensory language. Like what does it smell like? I mean, you're s- I mean, if you're in a bakery, maybe you are smelling sweets and stuff like that. But anyways, what does it look like? How does it feel? Like maybe not physical feel, but like what are your feelings about it? What are your thoughts? What questions do you have about the season you are in right now? And so just write down the prompt. You don't have to write it out right now, but I want you to spend, some minutes doing that prompt. And the second prompt is, what is one challenge and one blessing you're experiencing in this season? So a challenge and a blessing. Like, yeah, this season might be nothing but challenges, but there are blessings in there. And so, kind of being cognizant and, mindful of what is happening is going to help you go and grow through this season, with style and, with ease. And then the third prompt is, how can you embrace where God has you, even if it's not where you expected it to be? And so this one is definitely for me because I definitely am not where I pictured myself, you guys. You know, and it has been, excuse me, it has been challenging because I'm like, one, of course, we don't have the same exact timeline as God, right? He has totally different timeline. And so I'm like, I'm at an age where I'm like, I thought I'd be married with kids and, big old house and, big business, like just all these things. But I am, I'm in a relationship, but we're not married or anything like that. I'm also, working a couple of jobs. Like I don't want to work, but God has me in this season. And so it's just like, how do I embrace it? How do I embrace the nitty gritty, the all day, the busyness? I was in a season of stillness and now I'm in busyness. And so I'm like, okay, now having to like navigate my time, food, like what am I gonna eat? Who's cooking? Who's cleaning? So like there's a lot of changes and like just stopping to take time, you guys, forgive me, to embrace it, like see it all, see what God has for you, and spend some time just chilling and being in the quiet and just allowing the present moment, the season to just really soak in, and yeah, and write about it, okay, write about it. So we're almost done here. And so if you guys want to share what season you're in. I would love to know in the chat. I see you guys are there, but you guys are just chilling. You guys are just listening, and that is okay. You can definitely send me a message too. You can email me if you want to talk more. I post a lot on TikTok. TikTok is one of my favorite websites to post on. And I will be doing like daily prompts there. So if you're like, oh, I want, what's the daily, journaling prompt for today? You can find me over there. I think I'll post it on Substack as well. But yeah, so my goal is to really push journaling, creativity, self-expression, you know, founded on like biblical principles and the Bible and God and your relationship with Him. Because one of the things that I talked about in my newsletter earlier was that, tracking all the great things that God does for you and being able to go back to be inspired and encouraged and reminded that if God did it before, He can do it again. And so, like, one of my favorite passages is the memorial stones, and I can't remember which book that's in. Um, Anywho, so like they were crossing the Jordan, and this was the second time they crossed, so not the Red Sea, but God was like, build or get memorial stones and stack them so that you can always remember what I did for you. And so that's huge. And then also another verse is just like tell the future generations, tell everybody what is going on. And so like in my season of stillness, I ended up writing a book, and it was like a memoir. And so basically, it's called Living with God in the Season of Ambiguity. And so, kind of just be staying in reflective mode. And like this book, my children will be able to read it, and their children will be able to read it. And it's going to be encouraging to other people, even though it's just something so simple like sitting still for a year and a half. Like, what did I do? And people really enjoyed it. And so, you know, do you plan on starting a journaling habit? And just know that you don't have to write for hours or 30 minutes. It could just be something simple, something quick reminders. And so I'll be back to do another journal with me session. And let me know your thoughts if you have any questions. If you want to discuss a certain topic, let me know. But yeah, so I hope this was good for you. I enjoyed it, besides the coughing and struggling to breathe. But yeah, it's been real. Peace and blessings.